Hello everyone. Today's topic is standard forms. This is a very interesting topic and a very simple topic, but most of the students find it a bit hard, maybe because of lack of knowledge or a little bit of less of understanding. So I will try my best to make this topic a bit easy for you and so that you will be able to attend the questions if comes any in the exam. So the topic name is standard forms. Basically, what is the meaning of a standard form and what is its purpose? Standard form is used for representing the numbers, but not all the numbers we use standard forms. They are used to represent the numbers which are either too big or too small. For example, if you are science students, so or maybe even not a science student, you must have heard about the distance or the speed of the light, which is approximate like 3 times 10 to the power 8, something is given like that. Okay, so here the number is not written like a simple way, like 3 millions or something like that, whatever is the amount. Okay, here the number is written in a different manner. So remember, this is a standard form. This number is quite a very big number. That is why we have represented it in this form. If you know, there are charged particle, electrons, protons, and the charge on an electron is something like 1.6 times 10 to the power 19 coulombs. So this is a very small value, and I will tell you how it is a small value. So this is also represented as a standard form. So always remember, whenever you have the numbers which are either too big or too small, then the best way to represent them is standard form. Scientists use this a lot because when they do the calculations, we have a lot of calculations in nanoseconds and in very, very small value or a very big value. So we use the concept of standard forms. Now we are going to learn how to represent these standard forms, how to represent a number in the standard form. So for that, very straightforward process, a number which is written in standard form, it follows this way: a times 10 raised to the power of n. So if you see here, there is a multiplication sign, there is a number 10. This is fixed. This number will always be 10. You cannot make it 2, 3, 9, 20, anything. You cannot do that. Then this a and this n, this means these two can be variable. These two values can vary, but this 10 is fixed. It will always be fixed. Then there are certain conditions on this n and n. This n should be an integer value only. Integer means natural numbers like the counting numbers 1, 2, 3, and so on, or it can be their negatives also, -1, -2, -3, and so on. Okay, 0 you can also take, but because 10 to the power 0 it is 1, so you include it or not, it doesn't affect. Okay, mainly when you have integer values like 1, 2, 3 or -1, 2, 3, and so on, then we use it. Okay, then comes, what is this a? A is a real number. It can be in fractions, but we write it in decimals. We prefer to write it in decimals. And a has a restriction that it is greater than equal to 1, but less than 10. This is a very important condition, and we have to follow it while representing any number in the standard form. This is the standard form notation, how to write a number in standard form. Though it is used to represent a very big number or small number, but for now we can represent any number as a in a standard form. So 10 is fixed, n is an integer, positive, negative values, no fractions, no real numbers. Integer, when I said, that means no fractions. So I just write it explicitly as well. No fractions, no decimals. Okay, for this n. But for a, it can be a real number, but its value should be in between 1 and 10. It can be equal to 1 as well. Now let's take some examples. For example, In this video now, I have explained the meaning. So now we will be focusing on checking whether a number is represented in standard form or not, whether a number is in standard form or not. So first number is 3 times 10 to the power of 4. So I write it is a times 10 to the power of n. A is a real number between 1 and 10, and n is an integer. So first check, this is 10. Yes, this is 10. So this is fine. Now A is a real number between 1 and 10. Yes, that is fine. Exponent value 4, which is an integer. Yes. So this is a number which is represented in a standard form. This is correct. Now let's take another example. 3 times 9 to the power of 4. Here I check A, it is correct. Here I check this 4, this is correct. But here we have 9 and this is not allowed. We are always supposed to take the value 10 raised to the power of anything. Okay, let's take another example now. Let me take one example for say 15.7 times 10 to the power of 5. So this is 10, fine, and integer, fine. A is given as 15.7. Is 15.7 greater than 1? Yes. But is it less than 10? No. So this is not in a standard form. Okay. Next question. 7.2 times 10 to the power 0.2. So here 10 to the power, so that is correct. 7.2 A is less than 10, 7.2 is less than 10 and greater than 1. Yes. Decimal power, is it allowed? No, because n is an integer. So this is not a number written. This is not a perfect standard form. This is not a correct standard form. Okay. So this was the video about how to check what is the standard form of numbers, which numbers are used to represent in this form, and the form have some variable part like a and what do they mean, what is the condition on them, and how to check whether the number is in standard form or not. So this was the purpose of this video. I hope your doubts are clear. Thank you.